How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Juan Romero here from Switchwatch. Welcome to my review of Sakuna of Rice and Ruin on the Nintendo Switch. Let's break this one down and see if it's worth your hard-earned cash. We begin with the story. Sakuna is a harvest goddess and a pretty spoiled one at that. When you first get introduced to our protagonist, you're probably not going to like her at first. She behaves in a way very unbecoming. She loves to drink a bit too much sake, thinks humans are beneath her. Suffice to say, she gets banished from her celestial home to an island overrun by demons. Here she must rediscover her birthright as a daughter of a warrior. She'll have to cultivate rice, weather the elements and fight monsters. You'll also have your guardian Tama and a group of outcast humans, and she'll have no choice but to team up with them, tame the island and take out the demons. It is on the island though that the trials and tribulations of working hard and fighting hard where she will ultimately find her place in the world. And what a journey it is. The story is told really well, with the characters for the most part voice acted in both English or, if you prefer, Japanese with English subs. It's pretty incredible, especially considering this was developed by just 2 people, and that's not where the feat ends. It's just the beginning. You'll have meals together, chewing the fat. You'll often have conversations around your plot of land, and I just loved how everyone would eat together, a way of buffing up your character before going out to battle, dependent on the ingredients you have collected. I really loved the meal times in this game. It just reminded me of a kid growing up. However, it is over time that we do really see Sakuna's human side, taking in animals and stowaways, looking after everybody in her new family. She may act tough, but really she's one big softie, and we see that more and more as the story unveils. And for me, it was rather heartwarming. I enjoyed it a lot. Added a lot to the actual game. In terms of gameplay then, this is a mix of farming in 3D and 2D side-scrolling refined smooth action. They couldn't be more different from each other, but it works really well. The farming elements of the game, for me anyway, are just a way of relaxing a little from the frantic action, and you'll have the choice to plant your seeds in your plot of land, open the gate to let in some water into your plot, and you can also let it out, just making sure that soil is just right. You have to make sure that you have the right balance to make your rice the best it can be. You'll have to carry the poo bucket from the toilet outhouse and then get it ready by adding ingredients to create a nice little fertilizer to get better quality crops of rice. A lovely job for a goddess, if I say so myself right there, but she'll have to do a lot of stuff like this to make sure everyone is being looked after, including herself. You see, feeding everyone and yourself is important, and the better the rice, the more powerful you ultimately become, season after season. With each rice crop not only feeding your party of humans and yourself, but adding vital stats to your character so you can get further in the game. And that's not all though, you'll also have control of what your cook is going to cook for you and your fellow crew. If you go out and kill a load of rabbits, you'll no doubt collect rabbit meat. Kill a pig and it will be pork, a deer and it will be venison, so on and so forth. And you'll have a nice menu with soups, mains, desserts and drinks. Process your ingredients after a hunt so they don't go bad, and then choose a menu to increase stats such as strength or vitality or luck, for example, before your next run. There are things that affect how long you can stay out too for each hunt, such as the day-night cycles and hunger. Get hungry, you'll need to go back to camp, which is why it's vital you have a good hearty meal before going out and filling up your fullness meter. If darkness falls, enemies become way more powerful, so it'll be time to call it a day, unless you have something special to light up the place. Head back and have a nice hot meal, tend your crop, head to bed and have a rest for a few hours. Everything runs based on when people are awake too. You can't craft your weapon if your blacksmith is asleep. And likewise, the same goes for your tailor. Action takes place by you choosing a place on the world map that you can just open up, and a few places will be open. But as you explore each level, more and more will open up for you to explore. What I love about choosing a level is it gives you a handy little breakdown before you go in, such as the objectives and side quests, and each also has the level of the enemy itself. There's no point tackling a level which is too high level for you, and you'll need to grind materials such as copper ore or iron ore to make better weapons and get a better attack power. There's a main quest line to follow, but many side quests too, and it will be vital in your adventure to do as many as possible so you can get those vital materials and food, and you can set difficulty to low on both farming and the levels themselves, although the default difficulty strikes the right balance for me. The action though is fast and fluid, at times furious. The levels are never very long either, which suits that pick up and play nature of the Nintendo Switch very well, especially in handheld for a quick 5-minute blast here or there, or you can easily spend 5 hours on this game without even noticing. The mechanics are simple but are also quite deep, enough to keep you interested. As you progress, differing things are added to levels to make them more interesting, such as floating in water bubbles, fish being able to attack you in them, and some lend themselves more to action, while others are begging you to explore them a little more. Quick attacks start your combos off, but you can mix in directional swipes up for taking out flying enemies, for example, pushing up and Y and you'll swipe upwards, left or right, and you'll dash in that particular direction. With your two-handed weapon, it looks like you're taking a golf swing. You can use your hard attack to batter enemies into the ground, and at the end of your combo, which is really satisfying, you can even hit other enemies into others when there are plenty on screen, which gets super frantic. 1 minute you'll be on the floor, the next you'll be pulling off multiple attacks in the air with rabbits, birds, pigs, all smashing them all over the place before hammering them back to the floor for a satisfying finish. The Divine Raiment adds more complexity as it can be used to dodge enemies and to grapple to higher platforms, as well as pulling enemies towards you. There are all sorts of things you can end up doing, and sometimes not even knowing how you did it, so fast it can be. As you progress further, skills will be unlocked, and then you can equip such skills as the Tidal Wave, Spinning Strike, and for the Raiment, Crescent Toss, and otherworldly affliction, and become more proficient the more you use them, with statistics to show this too. And this also extends to farming skills. There are scrolls to read which you can find under your key items tab, and these will teach you how to pull off moves and give you vital information as to what an oil droplet is, for example. Everything works just superbly well in the 2D levels. Enemies are varied, all have their own quirks, how you need to approach them and kill them, although each new world will see that some enemies are rather similar but with differing skins, such as replacing flying birds with flying fish. The bosses too will be difficult and challenging at first until you realise you do need to do a little bit of grinding to get that next weapon boosting your attack. I have nightmares about those deer now. Now, the more quests within the levels you complete, the more options your companions will have, being able to make more fulfilling meals, more powerful weapons or gear, and the systems are kept simple enough so that anyone can understand them without being so deep that you get overwhelmed or lost in a bunch of confusing menus. And it's that balance that makes the game so enjoyable for both the casual and the more hardcore player. The thing is, you'll want to return to levels multiple times too. They are enjoyable. You'll want to find every secret, 100% the levels, and just grind for more materials. If I was nitpicking, then maybe the farming does break up the action a little bit too much at times. And there's also jobs that you'll have to do, such as picking weeds, dry the rice. After the 5th season, it does become a little bit repetitive in that sense, and you'll probably just get one of the humans to do that. So it's great that that option is there. The audio here is very good quality. As I mentioned in the story section of this review, the voice acting here is decent enough.
My dear friend Kokoroa, I'll bestow upon you the honor of helping me. The more you appear before Lady Kamuhitsuki, the more likely she'll be to remember you. いいぞいいぞ。わしに構わず続けるがよい。それにしても面白いな。お主ら人か？この頂の世に踏み込んで早々に切り合いとは。
and you have the options of both Japanese and English giving you the choice. The character will not be to everyone's liking at first, but she does grow on you, and that's the point, seeing the change and growth in this goddess. The music in the game is nice and relaxed, beautiful when in the levels or pottering around the farm, and sound effects are a treat too. So again, all very well crafted. Visually, this is very impressive, especially with all the seasons showing in the game, from the sun in the summer to the snow in the winter, and it also changes in the 2D levels dependent when in the season you visit them, which again is super impressive. Play in the spring and you'll see the lush greens everywhere with a beautiful sunny day, but play in the same level in winter and everything will be covered in those snowy whites. Autumn, lovely oranges and reds. Either season looks great, and I loved some of the water levels, which look absolutely gorgeous. The day will turn to night and show too, which again is super impressive. The enemies, the characters and their animations are all well designed and fluid. There are some problems when the character gets stuck between a rock or two, and this weird thing happens where the character will vibrate violently for a second. A bug indeed that I found. The use of the divine raiment is not always as tight as it could be. I did notice a few missed frames and a bit of slowdown at times when you're sort of in the air and there's lots of enemies just on screen, but it really didn't affect my enjoyment of the game. I think when you consider the 2D parts of the levels and the 3D parts all work and look so good, this would be more becoming of a larger studio. When you understand it was only made by a very small studio with just 2 people, it's even more impressive. Value-wise, you're getting so many hours of gaming here, and you'll not tire of it, honestly, until you complete it. And that's a huge compliment, because I just never felt bored. There was always something to do to mix up the gameplay, a little bit of story, and people may find going for a meal all the time a little bit repetitive, but you can even skip these scenes when the group's all together. And even the farming parts that get a little bit tedious after a while can be given to a human to do. Now for $39.99 or £34.99, sure, you can buy this digitally, but why not get that lovely physical or even the special edition? I'll put some links in the description below, and it's well worth it in my opinion. So in terms of my verdict then, I've got nothing but good things to say about Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. It has a nice story of a goddess finding her place in the world with a group of folk who work together to make a great little team who will have their ups and downs like any family, but being part of it felt rather nice. The action is fast and fun. The visuals, in my view, are gorgeous for an indie title, with a wonderful complement of voice acting, backing tracks, and throw into that some relaxing farming too. And we have a game which is very easy to recommend to anyone. How 2 people have made such a comprehensive title is beyond me, but I'm glad these talented guys did, because this is a triumph and one I think everyone should play. A 9 out of 10 from me, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this review, ladies and gentlemen, please leave a like. We'd really appreciate that. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know whether this game is for you and if you're going to pick it up. I know some of you have already, and some of you already have the physical edition, which arrived early. Thanks for letting me know on Discord. That's fantastic. And also, lastly, if you are a new watcher, why not consider subscribing for more reviews and lists which we put out every Sunday and Monday. Take care, everybody. I'll see you again on the next one.